You feel it in your chest, not your heart, not your lungs. Just this heavy, hollow pressure that sits right in the center of you. You might call it sadness. You might call it being alone. But what you're actually feeling is a 500 million year old alarm system going off inside your body. Loneliness is not an emotion. It is a biological warning signal. And the moment you understand what it is actually warning you about, the feeling will never seem the same again. For most of human history, being separated from your group meant one thing: death. Not metaphorical death. Real, immediate, predator-in-the-dark death. Evolutionary psychologist John Cacioppo spent decades studying what loneliness does to the human body, and what he found was not what anyone expected. Loneliness does not just make you feel bad, it physically restructures how your body works at the cellular level. When you feel isolated, your immune system shifts into what Cacioppo called a threat vigilance mode. Your body stops prioritizing long-term health and starts preparing for injury. Specifically, it ramps up inflammation. Because your ancient nervous system assumes that if you are alone, something dangerous just separated you from your people. And if something dangerous is nearby, you're probably about to get hurt. So it preloads the biological equivalent of a first aid kit. That inflammation is not a side effect of loneliness. It is loneliness doing exactly what it was designed to do. Here is where it gets stranger. Researcher Steve Cole at UCLA found that chronic loneliness suppresses the genes responsible for fighting viral infections, while simultaneously activating genes that promote inflammation. Your body is, in a very real sense, choosing the wrong enemy. It is armoring against wounds while leaving the gate open to illness. Because wounds were the ancient threat. Viruses were not the thing that killed lone humans in the Pleistocene. Lions were. Your brain is still running that calculation every single day. And this is not a subtle signal. Neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger conducted a study in which participants were socially excluded during a simple computer game. Their brains were scanned in real time. The region that activated was the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex. That is the same region that processes physical pain. Not a region near it, the same one. Social exclusion and a burn on your hand light up the same structure. This is why the phrase broken heart is not just a metaphor, it is a neurological description. Your brain evolved to treat rejection as damage because, for most of human history, rejection was damage. Being cast out of the group was a slow death sentence. So your nervous system learned to enforce social bonds the same way it enforces keeping your hand away from fire, with pain. Now think about what that means for you today. Every time you sit in a crowded room and still feel invisible, your body reads that as danger. Every night you spend without meaningful connection, your threat systems stay quietly elevated. You sleep lighter. You startle easier. You notice more potential threats and faces around you, because loneliness biases the brain toward detecting hostility even where none exists. Cacioppo called this hypervigilance for social threat. Lonely people are not imagining the coldness in other people's eyes. Their nervous systems have been tuned to find it. The cruelest part is the feedback loop this creates. The more isolated you feel, the more your brain reads strangers as threats. The more threatening strangers seem, the harder it becomes to reach out. The harder it becomes to reach out, the more isolated you feel. Psychologist Julianne Holt-Lunstad analyzed data from over 3 million people across dozens of studies and found that chronic loneliness increases the risk of early death by 26%. That number rivals smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Loneliness does not just hurt, it shortens the life that is doing the hurting. So when you feel that hollow pressure in your chest tonight, understand what it is. It is not weakness. It is not you being too sensitive or too needy. It is a 500 million-year-old system sending the most urgent message it knows how to send. It is your biology in every language it has, telling you, find your people. Because that pressure in your chest is the same one your ancestors felt the moment the fire went out and they realized they were alone in the dark. The fire is still out, the signal is still the same. What you do next is the only thing that has ever been different.